talking and not recording when I'm talking. That would be classic. Thank you. All right. So just some notes. Marginal benefit, the marginal benefit from a good. This is very subjective, okay? It relates to people's preferences. Bronco was willing to pay $10 for the first ride. I would not be willing to pay $10 for a ride, for my first ride at the amusement park. Daniel might be willing to pay $20 for the first ride. Marginal benefit is subjective and changes according to the person and their preferences, okay? What is constant from one person to another is this law of diminishing marginal benefit or utility. That as more of an item is consumed, so the enjoyment you derive from that item reduces. The more you consume of something, the more the enjoyment you get from it decreases. So your marginal benefit curve, which is represented by this blue curve over here, is downward sloping. Because as you move to the right horizontally in terms of the number of units that you consume, so the enjoyment you get from each additional unit is lower and lower and lower. Yes?
Would this law still exist if it was like on a resource that was very scarce but very like crucial to a person? Like
it's not because of resources, it's because of us as human beings. Like we don't have a never-ending capacity to eat Kit Kats as much as we want to. Like we can't just keep eating Kit Kats. We're going to get to a point where we've had enough. We just don't want it anymore.
But what if it was like something as like the demand for like something like electricity is high, but like the quantity of that's really low? Would this still exist?
It's got nothing to do with the availability of resources. It's got to do with our satisfaction that we derive from an activity.
Oh, okay.
So as we consume more and more of an activity, we have less and less desire for that activity. At some point, we just have had enough and we're done.
Okay.
So that's what the law of diminishing marginal utility is. And it's because of this law that you have to, if you want people to consume more of your stuff, you have to keep lowering the price. If you want people to consume more, because their benefit that they keep getting from each additional unit is lower and lower, at some point it's going to be lower than the price that you're charging, and then you're going to have to reduce the price in order to get them to buy more of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, marginal cost, that shouldn't, those repeated twice, right? Marginal cost is the opportunity cost, okay? And the marginal cost curve is upward sloping from as you move from the left to the right in terms of the number of units produced. So the marginal cost for each successive unit is higher and higher because of the law of increasing opportunity costs. Okay. Okay, so the law of increasing opportunity cost says as you produce more and more of a particular good, you have to sacrifice more and more of the other good that you're not producing anymore. And that's why it's an upward sloping curve.
So good.
Okay, so marginal cost is upward sloping because of the law of increasing opportunity costs. marginal benefit is downward sloping because of the law of diminishing marginal benefit or diminishing marginal utility. Okay, at the point where marginal benefit equals marginal cost, that's where allocative efficiency takes place. That is the ratio in which we need to allocate our resources between the production of our two goods. Okay? So this is the point of maximum efficiency. And that point is only going to change if our preferences change, which means the marginal benefit curve will change, or if opportunity costs change, which means the marginal cost curve will change. Okay, so if we come back to our first two questions, using marginal analysis to determine how much to consume, we will keep consuming so long as marginal benefit is greater than what? Marginal cost, okay? The second question, how do we use marginal analysis to determine where to produce on the production possibilities curve? Where we will produce at the point where marginal benefit is equal to what? Marginal cost. Okay. Right, now we're going to look at another example. Okay, you're going to turn to page 28, and we're going to look at number 23. Page 28. I don't want you to answer the question, let's just read the scenario. It says, question number 23, it takes mom 30 minutes to cook dinner. In the same time, she can iron 6 of your shirts. So the two different goods that this economy can produce is dinner or shirts, right? Dad takes an hour to cook dinner and 30 minutes to iron a single shirt. Okay. So here we've got our two different countries who can produce these goods, mom or dad. So now the question I have for you is, who should do what? How is the world going to be better off? How are we going to improve living conditions of this family? Who should do what? So take a moment to talk to the person next to you. Remember, you have got limited resources, right? There's the resources of a normal family, like one kitchen in which to cook dinner and one iron with which to iron the shirt. So without increasing your productive resources, you can't add children into the mix and ask them to get involved in cooking dinner or anything like that. Mom and dad are your productive resources. How are you going to allocate these production responsibilities in order to get maximum benefit for this family? Okay.
Wait, you keep burning for sure.